So this, only Ugandans could relate. Our lecturer at Mackay University, who taught us public speaking, walks into the classroom, and then one of the first things he asks is, who knows Alhaj Nasa Ndege Sebagala? And we put up our hands. And then he says, he's one of the best communicators that we have in Uganda, especially on the leadership scene. And everyone was like, whoa, hey. I was like, yeah. It doesn't matter whether he speaks Luganda or English, and it doesn't matter how grammatically correct he is or not. You will understand what he was saying, you understand the message, and you appreciate him, and he will be memorable to you. And then he said, that is effective communication, and that is the art of speech. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. My name is Apuuli. I am a communication skills coach, and I've given you reasons why you should trust me and why you can allow me to be your coach. We are going to be looking at what is public speaking in the context of Africa and context of Uganda. All right? Now, I want us to define what public speaking is. But before we do that, let's understand why the importance and why you should work on your skills of public speaking. One, public speaking can build your reputation. You could be good at whatever you do and no one will care, no one knows how good you are. Of course, apart from your workmates or your deskmates. But the day they'll give you an opportunity to present to an audience, that is when everyone will come and say things like, I didn't know you were this good. I didn't know that you're a good speaker. And from that, you will start seeing people calling you for trainings. Of course, it also comes with disadvantages. There are some people who hate on you. That is one. Two, I like how Obama puts it. He says in his speech, my favorite speech of all, entitled, Don't Tell Me Words Don't Matter. He comes and tells us, don't tell me words don't matter. Don't tell me ideals and inspirations don't matter. Don't tell me hope don't matter. And then he goes on and tells us of the different speeches that have shaped the world. And he tells us they were just speeches, just words. And I quote, he says, I have a dream, just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, just words, just speeches. He kinda, in a brief way, told us what is the importance of a speech. We know that there are many speeches that have caused havoc, that have caused or have been reasons for genocide, for spark of wars and world wars. So what I'm trying to say, public speaking is like a gun. It can be used to create or destroy, to inspire good and inspire evil. So be mindful of actually, I like how Vusi says it, that when you are given, you are privileged to have a platform and audience, use it to impact people. Whether it's a pulpit, whether you're a leader, whether you're a journalist, use the art of public speech to impact, inspire, and give hope. Right? So what is public speaking? One, before we understand public speaking, we ought to understand the words within public speaking. The first word is public. And I'm not going to use the academic words because this is a practical session. So now I was telling you, to me, what is a public? A public is any audience that is going to receive a message from you directly or indirectly. That is one. Then two, we go to number two. Then what is speaking? To me, speaking is the art of using a language to convey a message to a given people or a given audience. And the audience could even be an animal. We communicate to animals. That's speaking. You can speak to an animal. And then now that takes us to what is language in layman's understanding that I want a child to understand. Language to me is a set of signs and symbols, whether vocal or non-vocal, that when they are put together in voice or done in expressions, they convey a message. Now that makes me define what public speaking is. Public speaking is the art of speaking to an audience. Simple. However, what is effective public speaking? Effective public speaking is the art of speaking to an audience and they understand what you intended to tell them, the way you intended it. That's public speaking. Here is the problem. There are a lot of obstacles to public speaking. They can come from the audience, they can come from you, they can come from the environment. We shall go through that in the next videos. But today I wanted us to go through some theory of public speaking. Dr. Albert Mehrabian came up with a theory which has been proven to be true over and over again, that it's only 7% of what you say, both grammar, content, knowledge, everything that contributes to effective communication in the scenario of public speaking. It only contributes 7%. And then 38% is in vocals, your tonations, your volume, your pitch. And again, later I'll explain what is a pitch, what is tonation, what is volume. And the last one, which contributes the biggest, is the non-verbal cues. Your physical expression contributes 55%. With your expressions, people will determine it will determine whether people will believe your message. With your physical expressions, people will easily follow or not. So actually, other than content, which is 7%, if you combine the rest, which is not about your knowledge and content, it comes up with 93%. So 93% is non-content that contributes to effective communication. And only 7% is for content. So people will follow through your speech because of your voice tonation, your pitch, whether you're so loud or something, and whether you are loud or not. So there's volume, there's pitch, and there is tonation. And then you imagine physical expressions. You imagine I come and say, I am so sad you have lost a loved one. I'm so sad. No one will believe it. But actually, I may not actually be sad. And then I will come and say, I'm so sad for your loss. I can relate the pain you're going through. And everyone will believe me and won't believe the one who was actually serious and true and honest, but only because he couldn't express it. No one will believe them, right? So for me, there are 3 take-homes I want you to take from that theory of the elements of communication, that one, 93% is not about what you know. What you know is only constituted in 7%. That's one. Two, that what people hear is 45%. That means the vocals, tonations, pitch, and so on, plus your content, only 45%. And then what people see, the visuals, is 55%. Nonetheless, that takes us to number 3, that it's more about what people see than what people hear. But even further, it's more about how they hear it than what they hear.